All right, take two. Realized I wasn't recording the mic, but welcome, guys, back to Earl Sports Bets. I'm Timothy Earl, and today we're going to be looking at the IEM Katowice Semifinals. We're going to go ahead and look throughout the tournament, the betting odds for all these games, the teams that are still in it, and look over the DraftKings slate as well, see what we think there, because I play a little bit of DraftKings for Counter-Strike, so it should be a good slate tomorrow. We get NaVi and Gambit playing tomorrow, and we get Astralis and Virtus Pro. So it should be two solid games that I'm quite excited to see. So we get to go look into there. Also, while we look at the 6 semifinalists, we get NaVi and Gambit, Astralis, Virtus Pro, and then the two teams that are automatically in the quarterfinals are Team Liquid and Team Spirit. So if we look at all the 6 teams, Astralis, EU, Liquid, NA, and then we get 4 CIS teams, which is quite impressive to see. A region that we didn't really see much of besides NaVi the entire year of 2020. And now all of a sudden we get NaVi, Gambit, Virtus Pro, Spirit, all in the semifinals and quarterfinals of a major. So that's definitely interesting to see. So I'm interested to see how this whole slate should be working. We get to go ahead and look at the first game. We get to look at NaVi taking on Gambit. Minus 182 for NaVi, plus 150 for Gambit. And looking into this one, ways that the teams got in. Gambit made it through the lower bracket, their final win being against G2 to make it to the semifinals. NaVi made it through the upper bracket. The reason why they're not in the quarterfinals and they're in the semifinals is because they lost to Liquid in the upper bracket. That's why Liquid is moved on and they don't have to play in this round. But looking at the two teams, it's kind of hard for me to go against NaVi. It's just they are. I'm going to say that they're the number one team in the world. I feel like Astralis has dropped off, and I'll go over more of that when I go over their game. But being able to see Simple is looking like the number one player in the world, that alone is very, very scary for anybody who goes up against them. Here, and we'll go ahead and bring it into this as well. Looking at NaVi, they're running the 6-man rotation. It's been looking very, very solid for them. And being able to see Simple A being the number one player in the world. Electronic is playing really, really well in this tournament. And we're even seeing performances out of Boomich, who's been playing decently lately. Perfecto, who's been playing decently lately. And then the 6-man, Bit hasn't played as much. I think the last time he played was in the... IEM. He played against Astralis. He played the one game. But that was... Oh, geez, that was the night. That was back. The finals. So that was the last time we saw Bit. I don't know if we're gonna be seeing Bit tomorrow, so I'm 100% not interested in that. And if we were going to go look through this at a DraftKings perspective, Simple obviously is going to be a plug and play tomorrow. I don't feel like you can go away from him unless he has an absolutely awful game. He's going to be high owned. I'm going to say anywhere from 80 to 85% owned, which leverage could be in if you guys go against him, but I feel like that's just going to... You're going to be shooting yourself in the foot there. You should not be going against Simple. Just plug and play. Even if it's just in the flex, I definitely do want Simple in my lineup. If I'm going after other players from NaVi, I want to go after Electronic. 8,200. Yes, he's cheap, but he's mid-range, but I do want to go after Electronic for tomorrow. And then if I want to go after one other player, I feel like Boomich would probably be the better option over Perfecto, just because they average around the same, but Boomich is a little bit cheaper. And he definitely has the upside of being an entry fragger, and he's the most aggressive player on NaVi. Not interested in Flamey, not interested in Bit, unless you can get the map pool before lock at 9 a.m. If you see Inferno on that at all, do not play Flamey. if you don't see Inferno in the map pool, then yeah, that's definitely a possibility for Flamey to have a really good game and be on the optimal lineup at $5,400. And absolutely no to bid. I'm just not interested in going after him tomorrow. On the Gambit side, if you feel like they could pull off the upset, which is definitely possible, Shiro, 9K. I don't think I would be able to get to him, just because I'd rather have Simple on my team. But Shiro, 9K, definitely a good play if you wanted him. Axel at 6,800 would be probably the best play for me from Gambit. I wouldn't really be interested in going after NaVi or Interns. And then Hobbit, I just feel like is a little bit too expensive. I'd rather go down to Axel if I'm going to go after some of these Gambit players. But to go over this one, Axel from Gambit, and then Simple, Electronic, and then Boomage from NaVi. Looking over at the other game from tomorrow, we get Astralis taking on Virtus Pro, minus 167 for Astralis, plus 137 for Virtus Pro. And for this one, I actually like Virtus Pro a lot. They've been playing very well in the tournament. Obviously, they had to get to where they are now. We'll go ahead and look at how they got here. But they played against Renegades and Whistler Crack now. So that was solid games to get to where they were. And then they ended up, they beat Vitality. It was not on the slate. That was the way that they got in. They beat Vitality on a 6 a.m. game. So that's how they were able to reach it. They beat Wislau. They beat Renegades. They lost to somebody in between there. I don't remember. Oh, they lost to NaVi. And then beat Vitality to make it. Looking on the other side, Astralis, yes, are one of the best teams in the world. They did win pretty much throughout, and then they got to Spirit. And then it just went weird. For Spirit, you ended up getting a 16-1 third map on that one. So very, very dominant from Spirit against Astralis. I don't see like a overly dominant performance from him, but I do like Virtus Pro winning tomorrow. I feel like Astralis is just not as clean as they should be, and I think it's going to be an early exit for them, and we're going to see a lot of CIS teams in the finals and stuff. James, $7,800 is one of my favorite plays for today. He's just too low, and if you think Virtus Pro is going to win, which I feel like they will, 7,800 is definitely a good price for him. Yekandar, 7K, love that price too, and then 6,200 for Buster. I do really like that price as well. Looking over at the Astralis side, for some reason they still have Bubsky on there and they have Vestor on there. Do not play those two guys. It's not going to play. Bubsky's only map is Nuke, and Astralis has made it a known thing where they like to ban Nuke in the second round of bans. So I'm not really too interested in Bubsky. Never going after Vestor. If I'm going to go ahead and look at anybody from this, I feel like on this slate, I would rather go after Simple than Device. I feel like it's just a much better spot for Simple against Gambit than Device against Virtus Pro. I feel like Dupree is a little bit too expensive at 8,600. When there's other players in that price range that I'd rather go after, like Electronic and Jame. And then Magic's 7,400. It would probably be the only play I would be alright with. Zipix is very, very hit or miss. I'm not really too interested in him tomorrow. Plus, if by chance they get Nuke, that it could be really bad for them. For Zipix. And then Glave, in-game leader. I don't really like messing with in-game leaders. Yes, they have high upside if they really can go off. Obviously, I mentioned Bubsky earlier. Not Bubsky, sorry. Boomich earlier. So going after him could be a decent idea. But I'd rather go after some of these Virtus Pro players tomorrow than going after some of the Astralis players. But that's going to do it for today's video. I know it's a short one, but there was only 2 games. I like NaVi and Virtus Pro for this one. So take that with a grain of salt. Do whatever you want with that. I want to thank you guys all for watching. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. All of our socials will be in the description below, with Twitter, Instagram, and Discord if you guys are interested in talking to us during the games and stuff. All the sports that we cover are over on that side. But I want to thank you guys all for watching, and I'm excited to go and watch some more of the IEM Katowice Major Semifinals tomorrow. Let's watch some good Counter-Strike, and let's make some money.